Hey, you look nice today. I hope you're all having a wonderful holiday season and Happy New Year. I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering what's going on with the channel because I've barely uploaded this year, and while I don't usually make these kinds of videos, I figured now would be the best time if I'm ever going to do it. So what's going on? Can you expect more uploads from me? What's going on with the channel? I promise this will end up being a positive video, but first we want to talk about the history of the channel, where we're going, where I've been, etc, etc. So just strap in and yeah, let's get to it. So I guess I'll just rip the band-aid off. Making the same kind of high-effort character analysis videos that I have been making is just currently unsustainable. If I focused on just making those for the channel, I could maybe get out 3 of them in the whole year, and that's just not really what I want to do. So I want to talk about when I ended up relaunching this channel, because this channel was originally called Juice_Polydot. Polydot Games being a game company that I had started with my friend Craftus, and that was going to be the publisher of our game, Craftus Legacy, which is still being worked on in the background. Don't worry about that. That'll eventually happen. But when I did that and I switched everything over to the Juicebox, originally we had 4 types of videos on this channel, and it was the Juice Polydot videos, it was just, well, actually it wasn't even that. It was just I had Let's Plays, I had guides for video games like SA2 speedrunning and Smash guides, because I've ran some Smash chords like the Sephiroth, the Cloud chord, the Lucas chord, if you know what that is from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And I liked trying to teach other players, but you know, I've since stepped down from those leadership positions to focus on other things. I had a podcast as well. It was called the Juicecast, and everything was up on this channel. And then when we relaunched the channel, because I decided I wanted to do character analysis videos, because that's something that really spoke to me and something I was passionate about, I had realized that the same people who would click on a character analysis video aren't necessarily going to click on a Let's Play video or click on a podcast video. You know what I'm saying? And so because those people would not click on those videos, they would end up dying. Like, YouTube would not push them any further. And so I decided, all right, why don't I just make 4 separate channels? And I did this around the time where, due to life circumstances, I was given a chance to actually do YouTube full-time for about a year. And so that's about the time, about halfway through there is when I launched my first character analysis video on Sayori. You know, I learned how to edit, I learned graphic design, how to do thumbnails, but the scripts were actually written beforehand. So even when I was doing YouTube full-time, I could only get them out once a month, and I was doing the scripting a whole year before those videos ever even released. Of course, yeah, I had to go back and touch them up, because as you evolve as a writer, you look at what you wrote and you're like, I don't know, man. Even when I look at some of my old videos, I'm like, that could have been done better. Of course, that's just how art works. You know, we evolve as artists. We look back on our old work and we're like, you know, that could have been better. And same goes for the writing. So a good example of that is actually the MC video that released this year. It was supposed to release earlier than it did, but it was about halfway through the editing process with Iggy, who's been editing since the Sonic and Tails video, and I put out the Monica video in between there. I was like, no, I don't like this anymore. This is just not up to my standards, and so I rewrote it. And actually the same thing is true for the video that's coming out in January on Shadow the Hedgehog, which the Live and Learn lyric video is supposed to coincide with on December 20th as the anniversary of Sonic Adventure 2, one of my favorite games. I actually rewrote that entire script in like a week with the help of some of my friends, just because of the release of Sonic X Shadow Generations. Okay, so why can't you do that anymore, Juice? Okay, well, since March, I have been working 50 to 60 hours between jobs and driving to said jobs. Either, you know, one job and a part-time job, or just overtime at the one job, which is what I have been doing up until now. Like I said, even when I was doing it full-time, I was only able to do once a month, and those things were pre-written. It's also difficult for me to write, and if I don't have the ambition to write a character analysis, it's just not going to get done. I have ADHD, I have trouble focusing. So it takes a lot for me to finally get something done, unfortunately. It's just kind of how it is. I can be as self-disciplined as I want. I can't change that. I can go to a cafe, I can write on pen and paper, and that definitely helps. But it's not sustainable, right? I want to get more than 3 videos out a year. It's not great. I mean, because of that, I also wasn't able to play video games, and so, well, I obviously wasn't really able to stream or do the podcast. I was going to the podcast, the Juicecast, with my buddy Lord Wolfgang, who you might have seen on the channel through shorts, or maybe you've attended some of his streams. We did the podcast together, and we had guests on, and we were supposed to do Final Fantasy VII, but I ended up finishing it months after him, so it wasn't fresh in my mind anymore. That's due to all the work that I was doing. So, yeah, we weren't really able to do that, so unfortunately, it made me sad, but I had to cancel that. So I had to stop streaming, I had to stop doing the podcast, I had to stop doing the character analyses. But, so here's the thing. We had all of these things that were separate from the main channel, and now, recently, I've just gotten a new position at my job that allows me to work less hours for similar amounts of pay, which, obviously I need to pay, I have to save. I'm an adult. So this is just how life is. And so, alright, let's reorganize here. So for the last, I don't know, I want to say since the protagonist video has released, I've decided that I am going to move character analyses over to shorts. Now that might sound maybe unsatisfying or disappointing for some of you guys, and I totally understand that. However, that's the best that I can do, and I'm quite happy with what we've worked on. We've backlogged, I want to say, 2 shorts a week for around 5 months. So, I always like to be ahead. So I'll be transparent about that. And what this allows me to do is that if I have an idea for a character, I can write that short down, and it takes a lot less energy, and then I can move on to the next one. I can make a much more concise point, right? I can say, all right, here's this cool element about Sayori's design and why it matters for her personality. I'll turn that into a short. I can write about how the Mario design was how it originated, or I can write about the personality traits of Hiro from Omori, or Midna from The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I can do anything I want with it, and I can try to launch these in order to bring a new audience in. Now, because of course, and a lot of you might not know this, but when I launched this channel, I wanted to launch it with 5 different character analyses from different series. Now, that didn't end up happening because I ended up having to learn how to edit and everything, and I just wanted to get something out, right? I wanted other people to see my messages, I guess. And so it happened to be that my Doki Doki Literature Club analyses popped off and are what got me all of the subscribers that I have now. Congratulations, by the way. We just hit 12,000 subscribers, so hell yeah. Let's keep going. Really happy to have all of you here with me. I never wanted to be a Doki Doki Literature Club tuber, right? Because I was just doing character analyses, and there are 4.5 characters in that game. I'm not, I can't just focus on that, and that's why I've tried to stifle those releases with Sonic releases too. And I wanted to get over to Final Fantasy because Cloud Strife is a character that's really, really interesting to me. So what's happened is that if I post something that's DDLC related, it'll get a lot of attention from my subscriber base. But if I post something Sonic related, it won't get nearly the amount of attention, just because it goes to my subscriber base first. And then because they're not clicking on it, same thing I was talking about before. And don't take, this isn't a pity party. I'm just saying how it is. Because they don't click on it, it does not get pushed. It can be the best video in the world, and it might not matter. So that is just kind of how it is. And so my solution to this was like, all right, well, let's work on all these shorts from all these different series that I love, right? And then try to have everyone excited for whatever it is. I don't expect everyone to be excited for every single character I do an analysis of, but I would like to widen my audience to the point where it's not just Doki Doki Literature Club, because that is never what I intended. And I like DDLC, don't get me wrong. Look, I got the plushies back there. But, that just was never the direction I intended to take the channel in. And I think a lot of people intuitively know this, maybe. So that's that. Is that to say, oh, I'm never making a long-form character analysis video again? No, of course not. It's just that I have to be motivated to do it. When I only have about 10 hours a week, 15 hours a week to work on the channel, it makes it very, very difficult to stay motivated doing something that takes months, you know, of research and editing and polish and scripting and you know, I have to feel something. I have to feel like I need to say something new. When I first made those DDLC analyses, I had felt like I was saying something that other people weren't saying, right? That you saw analyses of the game, you saw a bunch of, you know, content of Doki Doki Literature Club mods or whatever, but I wanted to do something new for the community. I saw that there was a hole there that needed to be filled, right? And I tried to say something new about all the characters that I do analyze, like Sonic or Gamma especially. A lot of people discount E102 Gamma from Sonic as, oh, Gamma was just a bird and he freed himself. But no, that's not really how I see it. And I wanted to write the script about a free will or lack of free will. Just a philosophical topic that I thought would be really interesting. So go check that one out if you haven't already. But, you know, as it stands, it's like, all right, I've noticed trying to write a character analysis now when I don't really have something specific to say makes it very, very difficult to continue doing it. So it's just like, all right, it'll be easier if I can just make a 60-second, you know, 1 to 2 minute short about an aspect of a character that I have something to say and not try to, like, make that a 10 to 20 minute video. Because sometimes I do have that much to say. But a lot of the times, at least right now, I don't. So I have to wait for that to come to me. I have to wait for the inspiration to come to me. I have to be an artist. I can't force this stuff, or otherwise it's just going to be a bad product. And I don't want to put out something that I'm not proud of. And I think that, you know, that's a pretty understandable situation. So what I've decided to do instead is, now that I've gotten that new position, I can stream. So I'm going to be streaming, or I'm going to try to be streaming, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, probably 5 to 7 p.m. EST. Now, of course, this could age poorly. I don't really know, but let's just hope. And I'm really excited to do it. Of course, you know, I used to have a stream room, and it was really nice. I'm not necessarily excited to stream in my bedroom. It's kind of weird for me. I don't like my bed being in the shot, and I don't have room for a green screen or something like that. But I'm trying to make the best of it, because streaming is something that I really, really love to do. And this year, or yeah, 2024, I got to play a total of 3 games. Final Fantasy VII, which I've played 3 times. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Final Fantasy V. And then I played a little bit of Needy Streamer Overload and Marble It Up on stream earlier in the year before I moved. So what I'm thinking is I'm trying to bring everything back into the main channel in a way that's concise. Because I'm trying to drop this perfectionist, you know, attitude that I have when it comes to the channel. And I don't have the time for it. I don't have the time or the energy for it right now. And if I just want to release stuff, you know, I want to play the games. I want to stream and hang out with you guys. And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to be writing discussions about my experiences with the games. Very simple, you know, because I still will have a lot to say. But that's a lot easier for me to write, because it'll actually be on my mind, because I'll be able to play the games, and I'll be there with you guys, so you can be there for the adventure. I'm actually writing a script right now about Kingdom Hearts, of all things. Not my favorite series in the world, but I wanted to try to figure out why that is, and so I'm writing about it. And I'm inspired to do so. And I'm just hoping that this instills inspiration into me more consistently to actually get those videos out to you guys. I'm not going to try to be like, I'm going to get a video out once a month, blah, 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 because that's just not going to happen. But that fills the void of both streaming again, the Let's Plays, and doing the podcast discussion type videos, where I can be a little bit more off the cuff, like this. And this is kind of where I feel like I shine as a creator anyway. At least not without trying really hard. and really having something to say, and it taking months to form my words in a poetic enough way to really get the message across and impact the audience. And I'm so glad that I did that with the DDLC videos, because that was my whole goal when I relaunched this channel. That was the whole reason why I did it. I aimed to teach people lessons, or not even teach people lessons, but make them more introspective, and bring up these psychological and philosophical topics based off of or through the medium of video games, something that means a lot to me for a lot of reasons. And so I'm glad that I have been successful with that, and I hope to continue being successful with that in the future somehow, even if it's just through shorts. I think you guys will be happy with the shorts. Now, let me know in the comments below, should I push these to subscribers, or do you think I should just not, and you guys could check them out on your own? Because, you know, the thing I was talking about before, pushing the subscribers. YouTube seems like it would be a simple platform and straightforward with this stuff, but it actually isn't. So, yeah. So, I've gotten questions about the What If Zach Survived series, and a lot of you guys probably don't even know what this is, but if you look really far back in my videos, you'll see What If Zach Survived Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4, etc. And these were inspired by Dragon Ball What If YouTubers like Masako X, for example. It's kind of that style. Well, you know, I don't think that I'm going to end up returning to that in that form. You know, it's possible if I'm inspired in the future, I could finish that series in 1 or 2 videos, be like, okay, this is the complete story, What If Zach Survived, What If Zach Survived Part 2, and that's it. The reason why I stopped, 1, I wasn't inspired to do it anymore. 2, Remake had come out. And 3, I had realized at that point that I was taking the channel in another direction, and so I didn't want to lead people on and do that series. You know what I mean? And kind of like, because I didn't think that people who would watch What If Zach Survived would want to watch a character analysis about Natsuki from Doki Doki Literature Club. But now that I'm kind of like dropping the perfectionism and dropping the this is what this channel is strictly, I'm not going all loosey-goosey, but I'm just trying to bring things back so I can actually create again. Yeah, it's possible that I'll do a What If Zach Survived just total thing, but I'm gonna rewrite the entire thing, and that's gonna take a lot of work. And you know, it's probably not gonna happen anytime soon, but I'm just saying that is on the radar. Am I still gonna be doing Doki Doki Literature Club videos? Yes, but if you are only in this channel for DDLC and you want nothing else, then I actually recommend unsubscribing. If you are literally not interested in anything else I do, then I don't know what to tell you. That's not supposed to be a blow or anything like that. That's just the honest truth. I do have a couple discussion videos in my head right now, one of which I mentioned in one of the other videos that I made, which is what if Natsuki and Yuri, or how they reflect off each other. The other one I don't want to spoil for you, but it does involve Monica, and that's the one I'm more interested in. So that'll be the one I tackle first whenever I get around to it. But yeah, all that is to say, this has been a very positive update in my eyes. I'm trying to just trying to create and do stuff with you guys again. So yeah, 2 shorts a week starting this Friday. Streams maybe 4 days a week starting next Monday. And discussion videos. Oh, and look forward to that character analysis of Shadow the Hedgehog. And I hope you guys enjoyed the Live and Learn cover, by the way. Put a lot of work into that. Sally did a great job with the video. My buddy Nick played bass and drums on it. But yeah, that is going to be it. So thank you so much for watching this update video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, and I hope you're looking forward to the future of this channel. So stay hydrated, go eat if you haven't already, take your medication if you haven't already, and hey, you look nice today. Catch you later. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bo. Bum 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 ba na 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 na.